To edit video inside the QuikScout Player program, run the program and from the main menu choose Edit Video. This is a simple video editing portion of the program that allows you to cut your video up based on different categories or segments that you yourself name. So, come right into the main program. I'm ready to go ahead and start breaking down one of my videos. So I'm going to click New at the bottom of the screen. When I click New, it's going to ask me to select the digital file that I want to go ahead and edit. So I'll hit OK. It's going to default to my Media folder where my video should be. If it's not there yet, you should move it in there ahead of time. Check out the portion of the demo on My Media for more information on that. I'm going to go ahead and select my game. It's First Drive Demo, and I'm going to click Open. So now when I open up my screen, what I'm going to get is my data entry screen on the left side. I'm going to get the video playing out to the right, and I'm going to get my button pad on the bottom right. This is where you can go through and you can kind of break down what happens during the game, play by play, segment by segment, however you want to do it. In this case, I'm breaking down a football game, but it doesn't matter what kind of video you pull in here. If you play baseball, if you play soccer, if you play track, it can be a school play, whatever video you want to bring in and then break down, you can do that. So what we'll do is we'll get it to the beginning of the first play, and we're going to use the pad down here to move the video around. So in this case, I can just push this button here, and you can see the video moving slowly. We'll get it to the beginning of the play. I'm going to click Begin, and what it does is it pulls that time in. It marks that time. Then we'll let it go ahead and play to the end of that play. And when it's over, I'll push pause, and you can adjust it if you want to go backwards or forwards to a certain point. You can. And then we'll click End. So we've now marked it from beginning to end, so that we know play 1 ends at 10:05. It begins at 3:23. Now we'll go ahead and we'll break it down by these different categories over here. You've got 6 different categories you can use when breaking it down, and then inside each category you've got what are called custom keyboards, and you can kind of customize this yourself. You know, if it's a football game and you want to put in football terminology, you can. If it's baseball, you want to put in baseball terminology. Maybe it's just a general thing where you're pulling out highlights. For example, in here I've got name for category 1, and I've got a bunch of names down here, so maybe these are some of the different players on the team. And in this play, Richard was the primary highlight for that play. And then for category, if I want to mark highlight or teach or technique, or again, there's buttons down here. You can customize them yourself, and I'll go ahead and show you that here in a little while. But in this case, it was a highlight, and then you can move on through up to these 6 different options here. You can customize this to be the kind of things that you're going to want to search for. All right, so we're done with that play, so we'll go on to the next one, and I'll hit Add Play, and that takes me now. You can see I'm on play 2 of 2. We'll get that to the beginning of the next play. And we'll go ahead and pause, and I'm going to click Begin again, and I'm going to go ahead and let it play to the end of this play. And when the play is over, I'll push pause and mark End. So now I've marked play 2, and in this play, let's say Matt was the primary person that I want to highlight in this play. And we'll go highlight again. So now we've marked a couple highlights for a couple different people. So this is where, again, you can go through here. Let's say you're shooting a golf video and you want to mark, you know, your name and the club you used on each swing. So that later on you can pull out all your 9-iron shots or all your putts. Maybe you're a baseball pitcher and you want to pull out all of your fastballs. Again, it doesn't matter what video you're pulling in there. The point is you can kind of customize this to search for whatever you want. Okay? When we're done, let's say we've put in our 30, 40, 50 plays. When we're all finished, we can hit Quit, and it's going to ask you for a name. And in this case, I'll just put, you know, versus East. Maybe we played East on that game, and maybe I'll put the date in there, you know, 9/17 or 9/18/2010. I'll go ahead and hit OK. And now you can see there's the game, and there's the 2 plays we did. Okay? So that's how you would go through and you would scout or edit one of your games. To edit your data entry screen, once you go into the program, at the top of the screen, click Tools. From there, you can choose Notation Captions or Edit Keyboards. So we'll start with Notation Captions. You can see here I had name and category, and I had the other 4 notation fields listed. You can simply delete what's in here and type what you want. So if you want to put in sport, and maybe you want to put in season, along with a couple others, you can do that. Next, you're going to go in and you go to the actual edit keyboards. So you could see where I had the names, and you can see where I had the categories. Let's go into sport. We'll clear what's in there, and we'll type, football, basketball, baseball. Maybe under season, we'll put, preseason, regular, and playoffs. So that maybe when you're scouting, you want to break out the differences between those things. So if I click my game and I click edit to go back into my current game, you can see now that sport and season show up, and if I click in there, there's football, basketball, baseball, there's pre-regular and playoffs. So it's kind of up to you to decide what you want your template to look like, and you can change it at any time. I would say mess around with it a little bit, kind of decide the kind of things you want to edit out, and then you can kind of customize this to exactly what you want.